Kenya is one of the countries in the world that has diversity when it comes to its population, geographical setup, and ethnic groups found in the country. The recent estimates place Kenya's population at over 50.5 million residents. But what is the population of the country's capital? According to the 2009 census report, Nairobi had a population of 3,138,369 residents and was ranked the second heavily populated city in the African Great Lakes territory after Dar es Salaam in Tanzania. Currently, Nairobi is ranked 5th in Africa with a population of over 6.5 million residents. Welcome to one of Nairobi's most populated areas, home to hundreds of thousands of residents struggling to survive on less than $1 a day. Kawangware is one of Kenya's biggest slums, situated about 15 kilometers west of Nairobi. Popularly known as Ongwaro, the huge sprawling slum spans approximately 3 kilometers and has an ethnically diverse population of over 130,000 people, 65% of which are children and youth. The Kawangware slum lies next to Lavington and Westlands, Nairobi's affluent, leafy suburbs, where many of its residents work. We meet Vincent Makoha, a resident of Gatina in Kawangware.
I've stayed here for quite a long time, from 1990. My children was born in Gatina, they were educated in Gatina here. From 1990, you see, it's quite a long time. I came here when I have 3 kids, but some 5 kids were born in Gatina. So in total I had 8 children, but 2 has passed away. I stay here with my family. Although some 2 girls are married, but I have here like 4 children and I have 2 granddaughters. So that total we are about 8 people here. Yeah, in this confused house. I liked this place because formerly I used to work in Westlands. So from here to Westlands it was somehow cheaper. That's why I preferred Kawangware to other places. And you know, in Katina life is all that expensive compared to other places like Lavington, like Langata, like Kangemi. Although Kangemi is also a slum, but I preferred staying in Katina. It's where my life was from the starting.
It is 6 a.m. Vincent, a groundskeeper in Nairobi's Makini School, is preparing to go to work. Vincent is getting ready to go and fend for his family.
I just wake up very early in the morning, I clean my face, I brush my teeth. I normally foot from here to Makini School, so from here to Makini I can take like 1 hour footing every day in the morning and 1 hour footing coming back. I don't normally take breakfast in my house because the breakfast which can be available in my house I leave to my family, because I normally take breakfast. I have a colleague who is just nearby. I phone in the morning, or he calls me in the morning, then we start moving. At least every day I call or he calls, then we go together, because sometimes we live here when it is still dark, so we needed a company. And the places where we pass, sometimes we have it's not a very straight road. You can get there very bad people to harm you. My daily routine, I reach at work, I change my clothes. After changing my clothes, I start working. I work up to 10, then I break my break. I normally take break at that place where I work. Nyumbani sina kitu ya kuamsha kinywa, ndio nakuja mpaka wakati ule ndio naamsha kinywa hapa na kunywa chai, alafu naendelea na kazi.
In September 2018, the Kenyan Parliament passed the finance bill that saw the imposition of a 16% tax on petroleum products. This resulted in an increase of the price of fuel, as well as other products and services across the country. President Uhuru Kenyatta rejected the bill and proposed a reduction on the VAT on petroleum products to 8%, following concerns from Kenyans over the rising cost of living.
And it is clear that you are all troubled by the effects of the rise in the prices of petroleum products and its impact on the cost of living. I have heard and understand your concerns, which is why I have proposed, as part of my memorandum, to cut VAT on petroleum products by 50%, meaning from 16% to 8%.
Well, the finance bill, yes, it was proposed in 2013, and it was mainly proposed to finance the big four agenda of the Jubilee government: the food security, the manufacturing, the universal health care, and the affordable housing. So why it was proposed, of course, is to finance this big four agenda. And is it necessary? Yes, for the government it is necessary because the government needs revenues to finance the big four agenda. But for the common mwananchi, no, it is not necessary, because I think it's going to blot out the cost of living for the common person.
The Central Bank of Kenya reported Kenya's inflation increased to 5.7% in September 2018, up from 4.0% the previous month, following the implementation of the VAT. Although the reduction of the VAT was aimed at cushioning the common mwananchi, Kenyans have felt the pinch with the rise in food prices, transport, and housing. For many, the cost of living has become unbearable. Their income is not enough to meet their needs.
My cost of living is very high compared to what I earn. I can't cover the whole amount from the whole need from the amount I earn, because it is very little. At least I need something, support from mama. Nafanya business kidogo ya kuuza mboga, matunda, au yana support at least kwa vitu kama chakula, na mimi na concentrate kwa kitu kama school fees and paying rent of the house.
The implementation of the 8% tax has greatly affected low and middle income earning households. Many are being forced to look for alternative sources of income, while others are planning to move back to the countryside where life is more affordable.
Kama maisha itaendelea hivi, kitu ya maana ni wale waajiri wenye wametuajiri kazi waone vile maisha imepanda, kama wanaweza tusaidia waongeze kitu ndio sisi hata tukumu maisha yetu. Na kama haitawezekana hivyo, na afadhali mtu sasa rudi nyumbani aenda afanye kazi yake. Ulime huko ufanye, kwa sababu huko nyumbani nyumba ulipi, maji ununui, chakula ununui. Na hapa kitu yenye natukula sana ni hiyo mambo ya nyumba, mambo ya travel, kukuja hapa imepanda, na nyumbani utatembea, na sasa hivi huwezi tembea.
Life in Nairobi is unbearable because things are going higher and higher day and night. So if I go home, I can survive better than even staying in Nairobi. If the situation continues the same, I'm proposing even to leave working and go home to start doing some farming. I have like 10 acres of land, and I have tamed some cows there. I can do some farming and depend on that animals, and life goes on.
The VAT application on petroleum products dates back to 2013, when the country promised IMF Managing Director Christine Lagarde of its intention to increase the VAT bracket to allow for increased revenue for the country. The high cost of living continues to be a contentious issue in the country. The imposition of the tax is supposed to generate revenue for development. However, This development is yet to be seen as millions of Kenyans still live well below the poverty line. Billions of shillings are reportedly lost every year to corruption. It is unfortunate that every 5 years, millions will line up in the dark to vote for leaders, only for these same leaders to get into power, enrich themselves and leave without ever effecting any change. For people like Vincent Makoha, who has suffered great loss, he has not lost hope. He represents a large section of Kenyans who still believe that there are leaders who can make a difference. It is the desire of many that our leaders will look for ways to ease the burden of the cost of living so that Mr. Makoha and others like him will continue to live a happy, healthy, and more fulfilled life.